Welcome back, everyone. I'm doing the video for this week live because I had forgotten to record it earlier. I got sidetracked. And this is just a chart that I'm building out for me personally. I just have it up here in the background because I have a bunch of other decks that I'm going to be working on stream tonight. I have a few ideas. Basically, I want to... I struggle with this personally where as much as I say I hate deck building, and I kind of do, I just find it exhausting. Like, I don't find it boring or find it interesting. I find it boring because it's just the inevitable iterative work of doing certain things. And I've said this many times before that I feel that given enough time and the appropriate parameters, anybody could end up creating the various meta decks. So skipping to that point of I get to play the deck is what's fun for me, or more fun. I used to be more focused on deck building, and I burnt out on it. I was joking the other day on stream, quite literally 20 years ago. I realized that I just didn't feel like doing it anymore. But that isn't really the focus of what I wanted to talk about. I am often critical of Star Wars Unlimited, and I think that all of my complaints, or I wouldn't be leveling them, are grounded and justified. And I think there are still things to complain about with recent announcements, specifically regarding the organized play program, the points for next season, the event allocation, the timelines. There's a list of things. However, I actually wanted to say this today, and we could dive into those other topics another time, but I had expected, we'll say a month ago, before, up to a week before we got the full spoiler due to the leak. I don't remember how long ago that was, but pretend it's a week before that. I thought that come August 1st, I would probably no longer be playing Star Wars Unlimited. I thought that the game was not just in a miserable spot, but in a miserable spot at the end of a very long journey of miserable spots. Now, we could debate about which were high points, low points, or lower points, but the game has felt as though it was on a consistent downward trend for me in terms of fun for basically since set 2. Arguably since set 1, and maybe that's splitting hairs, but I've been around the card game industry and playing card games for, as you'd imagine, since I mentioned 20 years ago, I stopped enjoying deck building. 30 years ago, more than 30 years now, was when I started playing card games, and I've been through these patches with various games. And I've stuck with some of them, and other ones I gave up on or they died because they didn't have the momentum that a game like Magic the Gathering or SWU did. Not to put them in the same tier or anything. All of that is to say that set 8 has really kind of won me back. I am still very much looking forward to and somebody had asked a question the other day about, if you weren't playing SWU, what card game would you be playing? And my response was, there's like 15 or 20 of them that I'm interested in. And it's not Riftbound or Magic or Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or insert a bunch of other more common ones. There's a lot of them that I'm going to hopefully be able to demo at Gen Con this year, which is the weekend following Galactics. And maybe some of them will ultimately pull me away from SWU. Realistically, I don't think they will, because I have a bunch of criteria that I just doubt those games are going to be able to fulfill. Namely, that there is a local scene, there is a slightly above local competitive scene. I don't want to play games where I'll play them once a quarter because, I travel out to Ohio or I fly across the country or something for quote unquote nationals or something, and it's an 80-person tournament that happens twice a year or something like that. That's just not worth my time, energy, and especially money. Star Wars Unlimited has been fortunate enough that I found a great group. played with some awesome people, made a lot of new friends playing this game, and I want to continue playing it, but it was doing its damnedest to make me hate it. I think set 8, while it's not perfect, and while I think there are definitely going to be complaints about the meta and stuff, at least as it's shaping up right now, I am way more interested in playing Star Wars Unlimited and actually playing as compared to just performing the activity for the end result goal of like trying to win a tournament or something. I anticipate if I were to play in a set 8 event tomorrow, I would be excited to play in that event, like actually play the game, which is not something that I can say has been the case for about a year now. And even prior to that, there were different periods where it definitely was the same thing. So I do want to say and give a shout out to FFG at least this once and say, yeah, I think you did a good job. I think that this is at least interesting. Maybe my opinion will change once I come out of Galactics. I don't expect to do very well, but I do expect to have a good time. And last year going in, I did not expect to have a good time, and I did not have a good time, and I regretted going. This year, I think I am going to be pleased to both go and to have gone. Maybe that won't be the case when I get home. We'll see. And I will feel, at least I'm expecting to feel at the end of Galactics 2026 that some level of disappointment that I will not be attending Galactics 2027. And that, as I've talked about before, is a financial decision. Like, I just don't think I'm going to be able to afford it. Maybe things will change between now and then, but the reality is this is an expensive ass trip, and we could cycle back into my complaints that I've been leveling at FFG on that front. But that's for another rant and rave video. That's all I really had to say for this one. I wanted to get this out, put that out there. But yeah, good job. That's going to do it for this time. As always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time for more Random's Thoughts.